Hi, team. So in a moment, you'll be seeing the discussion between Sherry Bird, Ivan Habel, and Mark Dussault around your recommendation. I think what you'll see is that they were very, very receptive to your ideas, and in fact, they've already held theme nights. So you're very in line with the vision of the Belfry. Great work on that, especially doing work with for an organization that you're not physically close to, and that you really had a steep learning curve about. So that is great. They did actually their main request was around further development, as you'll see. So what theme nights? They've tried some. Are there any that would actually capture any specific market demographic, and how? You'll also see that Mark raised a very interesting concern. He pointed to a theme night that they've already tried doing around some kind of mixer, and he pointed out that it was very successful for a while, and then it completely dropped off. So there's lots for you to think about in their in their feedback. Now, in terms of my feedback on process, your group seemed very, very solid, led by Janice as your process coordinator. From what I can see from Moodle, you did a great job, and things seem to progress in a fairly it looked like from the outside, a fairly rigorous and also structured way. So it looked like you had a handle on things, but I look forward to reading your papers to know what was going on. My big comment would be around convergence. There seemed to be a reluctance to converge. So even once you revised your BHAG, it was still to capture all demographics. And of course, that would be linked then to it's hard to be creative if you stay too broad. You know, that you can put forward the idea of theme nights, but instead, in terms of actually giving the Belfry some specific ideas for moving forward with specific theme nights, it would be hard to do if you stay very divergent, trying to reach all demographics. That's a small comment, and again, this is really for your own food for thought. So if that doesn't resonate with your own experience, that's fine. This next paper is about your reflections on your experience. So in all, I think you tapped into something positive. I'll be curious about how the process was for you on the ground, what you would keep and what you wouldn't keep. For example, I noticed one of your process experiments was around anthropological research. So how did that work out? Did that ultimately inform you in coming to the recommendation that you came to? Great work, team, and please let me know if you have any questions. Actually, the sound isn't too bad in yours. You can hear everybody speak. All right. Hi, Team 4. We're here with the team from the Belfry, Mark, Sherry, and Ivan discussing theme night, and I'll just let them take it away.
I'll just start by saying it's an interesting concept and an interesting idea. It kind of follows on, it's a bit more, there are a few more extra ideas in here, I guess is what I'm trying to say, over some of the concepts that we've talked about in terms of our audience development programs with our Before Play, which is kind of an interview show that we're now doing before production. And we've talked about doing a similar kind of thing, like a late night talk show thing after some of the productions with, kind of doing that around the bar here. But so it's interesting. I think that it's a question of, for me, the interesting thing in terms of how you develop the idea would be how you incorporate it within a fixed package of performances. So where do they occur? How that affects current subscribers? How it would attract new subscribers? Who they would attract? I know that, for example, on our previous talkback nights, we have subscribers who particularly subscribe because that's what happens that night when they come that night. So this is kind of an expansion of that idea, and an interesting one to look at in terms of how you would build it into a program.
Over to me.
Sure.
Yeah, that's interesting. There's a number of things that we have tried in the past. Certainly the mixers, that idea of connecting lonely theater goers with fellow enthusiasts. We used to do a program called Mix at 646 here, and after a little while, it takes a life of its own, and then it just kind of doesn't. It starts to go into decline. It's one of those things where it's a good idea, people get used to the idea, it's sold in a certain way, and then it just kind of goes down. And that's really what happened in that particular case. Some of the other things, we have hosted TED Talks here. The host a local reality show, I think there might be something there, but
Yeah.
I just, that's one of those things where there's an awful lot of work involved in that.
Yeah.
So I think that would be all that I would add to this.
And I find the idea of bringing people in for something that they're already excited and comfortable with, that is really intriguing. So for people for theater isn't a regular thing, getting them excited in this space, that's really intriguing to me.
Thank you. And thank you, team.